What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
At this point, I really can't say I understand what the Lakers are doing. It's like they're just getting all point guards right now. They got Patrick Beverley. Now I'm hearing reports that the Lakers have definitely, re-signed one of their former players that they had a couple seasons ago, and Dennis Schroeder. And he's a point guard. And, I feel like, with the Lakers, this is just something that they're trying to do to really push Russell Westbrook out the door, and I feel like the Lakers are really actually saying it with their chest rather than actually saying it to the media only. And I feel like this is one of those situations where Russ is looking at it from a far view and saying they're really trying to push me out of this organization without even trading me, because they're really finding out that they can't trade me because nobody wants me. And I think that's where Russ is, or at least Russ has had to at least think that, at this point, because honestly, that's what everybody sees. That's what's going on right now. And I mean, why are they getting all these point guards or people that so-called would be playing the same position as Russ if, they're wanting to play Russ more, or if they really want to ingratiate him in the offense? And all the stuff that's being said, you heard Darvin Ham say he has a real role for Russ, and you heard Jeannie Buss say Russ was, one of the most consistent players that they had last year, saying all the right things to the media, but in action-wise, they're saying they really don't even want the guy on the court because they're loading up on point guards only. And some of the reports that I heard about between the Jazz and the Lakers, possible trade scenario was trading for Russ to get possibly Jordan Clarkson or Mike Conley. Mike Conley's another point guard. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the Lakers are really trying to make way for other guys and really boot Russell Westbrook out the picture. And I know Russ sees this. I know he hears it. And I mean, honestly, it's no need to hearing it. It's right in front of his face, because they're showing that they really don't want to, utilize Russ going forward. They're really showing him through action that they really don't want him to be there in regards to having a Lakers jersey on. And they're doing everything they can to show signs or take subliminal shots at Russ by, acquiring players that would be playing the same position that he would be playing. And, when you think about that, they got Patrick Beverley, and a lot of people are saying from ESPN to Yahoo Sports or wherever, Sports Illustrated, or maybe even Lakers Nation, that, Patrick Beverley's going to take some minutes away from Russell Westbrook. Well, what do you think is going to happen now that they signed Dennis Schroeder? He's going to take even more minutes from Russ. Now, me personally, I don't think Dennis Schroeder is really a key guy for them, because when Dennis Schroeder was there a couple seasons ago, they couldn't do nothing with him. They didn't win anything. They didn't even come remotely close to being the team that they were in the bubble the year prior when they went to the bubble and won the championship. Dennis Schroeder really wasn't a good fit for them. He wasn't a good replacement for, anybody like Alex Caruso, anybody like that. He just wasn't a good replacement for him, or even Rondo when they had him in the bubble when they won the championship. So Dennis Schroeder was not the answer. And that's my point with the Lakers. What type of message are they trying to send? They didn't win with Dennis Schroeder. He wasn't a big part of their offense in regards to, putting them over the hump. And, he did have some good games. Don't get me wrong. He did play fairly well for the Lakers, but fairly well isn't good enough when it's all about winning championships. And championships is not something they were ever getting close to with Dennis Schroeder, because Dennis Schroeder is really not that type of guy. He doesn't play to that level. He doesn't have that type of mindset. And I don't think he's a championship caliber point guard. I just think he's a very valuable, solid role player type point guard. And that's just where I feel like Dennis Schroeder stands. And honestly, I feel like, the fact that the possibility of the possible trade to get Mike Conley, if they got him, they would really just have, Dennis Schroeder just come off the bench behind somebody like Mike Conley if they were able to get Mike Conley from the Utah Jazz. So, I mean, I don't know what the situation is going to be. I don't know how it's really going to turn out for the Lakers, but honestly, it doesn't look good for Russ either way on both sides. It seems like Russ is just getting the short end of the stick, whether it's from the media, whether it's from the Lakers organization, and just from his own standpoint in general, because now there's been too many reports about LeBron doesn't want him there and all these things, and that's the main guy. That's the head of the snake right there. Unless, he wants Russ there and he's happy with everything that he's getting, it just more or less is going to seem like to Russ that, it's just not an ideal situation for him to be in. But hey, I mean, the Lakers are the only ones that know what plans they have in place for Russ. They're the only ones that know what the process is in regards to where they're trying to go and what they're really trying to do, and what they're really trying to implement. And to me, from my side of the view, it looks like they're just really trying to implement that they don't want Russell Westbrook, and they're showing it through their actions more than they're actually speaking it. And that's a problem, because the season is approaching, and it's to the point now where Russ is looking at it like he might not even get that much minutes, with the Lakers, especially if he comes out in the beginning of the season and don't play well. They're just going to pull him from the lineup and throw one of these other guys in there and make an example out of Russ. And he's really going to feel upset about that, because he's not used to getting that type of treatment. But it's very possible that could happen with Russell Westbrook. So he's going to have to be careful this season. When he plays with the Lakers, he's going to have to play his very best. They're showing videos where his shooting is a lot better or looking a lot better, but there again, that's the off season. Nobody's playing with you. You're not playing against the best players in the world, and the season's not in. We got to see that jumper fall during the season. We can't look at a jumper in the off season with a bunch of nobodies or practicing on your own where it's falling down. I mean, a lot of players can shoot with no defense upon them, so that's not really saying much. Russ is going to really have to ball out this season, because this team is really going another direction, and there's no way he doesn't see it. But I mean, for his own value, he needs to play at a pretty decent level, so he can get traded and still be a part of the NBA, because the way he's going now, if no team wants his services, he could be one of those players that was really great and could be out of the NBA sooner than he chooses to be, rather than leave on his own terms. So if I were Russ, I definitely would go out there and play the best I can. I definitely would go out there and play the best of my ability, because they're putting all these people in place to replace you and to boot you out of the system and boot you out of the team. And Russ, he'd have to be blind not to see it, and I know he does, but for his sake, the best thing he can do is play his very best, let his game do the talking, and kind of just take it from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.